Hello everyone and welcome back to another weekly roundup video. So this week I haven't actually been up to much again as usual. I'm quite a boring person, as you guys have probably figured out. I've just been doing the usual work that I've been doing. I've been working on some performances. So I've been working on some performances for my performance channel. I'll link it somewhere so you can go and check that out. It seems like classical music's actually making a bit of a comeback, like, well, as if it ever went away anyway. Classical music has always been the kind of root of all the music that we hear today. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So classical music is making a bit of a comeback, and I think deep down everybody likes classical music. And I think there's always this big debate, isn't it, that, you know, there's always going to be people that like classical music. I love classical music, and that doesn't make me kind of geeky or anything. I just really like classical music. I respect it as a musician. I guess because I understand the complexity being a musician, so I can appreciate it. Doesn't mean to say that you do or don't have to understand it just because you're not a musician, but I can, you know, I appreciate it from a musical perspective. But I think a lot of people don't like classical music because they feel like they don't understand it, because it's complex, it's complicated. It's not like your Imagine Dragons 3-chord piece that you get today. No offense to Imagine Dragons playing with 3 chords, you know, it's fine and it works and it sounds great, and I like that music too, and I cover it all the time on my performance channel. But you know, I'm just saying, in comparison to the music that we've got today, and the classical music, you know, that is kind of hundreds and hundreds of years old and things. So I think people just feel like they don't understand classical music, but you don't have to have an understanding of classical music to like it. You know, you can just appreciate it in another way. Anyway, that's probably another debate for a whole other video anyway. So, but you know, tell me your thoughts. Do you like classical music? Do you not like classical music? Types of classical music? I can't stand opera. There, I've said it. I absolutely hate opera. I guess, well, I don't know. I just don't like opera. There's just something about opera that I don't know. I just don't like opera. I can appreciate opera. I just personally, it's just not for me. I don't like it. Having said that, I've just said the biggest contradiction in terms. One of the pieces that I'm actually playing, that I've recorded as part of my performance, is Nessun Dorma. Oh, actually, I wonder if I can. Let me just play you a snippet. Where is it? So it's just going to be coming out of here. It's not going to be any good, but this is a little snippet of Nessun Dorma. So there we go. So that's a little bit of Nessun Dorma, but it's a popular piece, so again, I thought I would cover it. So I've been recording Moon River by Henry Mancini, so all these are going to be coming up in the future on my performance channel. What I generally tend to do is record a bulk lot. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 8. I can, but it's more time consuming to just record, find the music and everything and the backing track, record it on the violin, edit it on the violin, then go and record the video and then edit. It's more time consuming to sort of do one video than it is to sort of do 8 in one go, and that will keep me going for kind of 8 weeks or so. So we've got Moon River coming up. We've got Sicilienne by Fauré, which is probably more known as a flute piece, but that's classical. Then we've got The Swan by Sasson, classical. Then we've got a bit of, is it Billie Eilish or Billie Eilish? Billie Eilish, whatever it is, that one, When the Party's Over. That was quite an interesting piece to do, but you know, it's popular and people want to hear those covers. Then we've got Miley Cyrus and Mark Ronson, Nothing Breaks Like a Heart. I really like the original of this song. I don't know why, I just really like it. I'll have to admit, it wasn't quite as much fun playing it in the acoustic version with the piano like I do on my performance channel compared to the original, but you know, I still like the song nonetheless. Then I've got Ave Maria by Schubert, and then we've got Nessun Dorma, Puccini, and then what's the last one? I See Fire, Ed Sheeran. That I See Fire by Ed Sheeran is a collaboration with Nicola Clemes. I've done a few collaborations with him. You've probably seen him on my channel before. He plays the acoustic guitar, or acoustic electric guitar, I believe. He does the backings for me, and then, you know, I put the violin together with that. So I See Fire is a collaboration with him. And then the last one is East Side, Benny Blanco, Halsey and Khalid. So yeah, so those are the performances that I've got coming up on my channel at some point. I also did a new, different type of video for my Patron Friday reward. Those of you who are my patrons, if you're not, then I'll put something in the description link underneath, but for $1 a month you get access to hundreds of sheets of music and everything else that I put on my Patreon feed, whatever. So every Friday I put out a piece of easy sheet music arrangement for piano, and this week, or last Friday, I did East Side, Benny Blanco, Halsey and Khalid, easy piano arrangement. And I just wanted to switch up the videos a little bit, because before I was just sort of creating the MP3, wrote out the music, created the MP3, when I put it in my editing suite, I just kind of had a video, the video was just a picture of, you know, whatever I could find of the album cover or whatever was related to that song. And I thought it was just a bit boring, but the purpose of that video was just to advertise that you guys have got a Patron Friday piano sheet music arrangement coming, not really for any other purpose. But I was just thinking of ways to liven that up, and I just thought, just synesthesia, you know, the old kind of Tetris style thing with the piano notes, or, you know, where the notes are falling. So I bought the synesthesia just for the purpose of that, not for people to learn it through synesthesia. Don't get me started on people who learn through synesthesia. If you do learn through synesthesia, you really shouldn't. You should learn the proper way. It's a terrible way to learn. But anyway, that's a whole separate video in itself as well. So anyway, I decided to get the synesthesia. But when I put it all together, apparently you have the MIDI file, and then you open the MIDI file up in the synesthesia and it all falls down, you know, Tetris style, whatever. Then you screen record that. And I'm having problems on here using QuickTime recording the sound from the screen record. So obviously it plays out, you can hear the MIDI playing in synesthesia. I can hear it clearly coming out of the speakers. But when it screen records and I set the microphone to pick it up, it's so faint. But anyway, I managed to do that. I managed to turn it up really loud in my editing suite after I'd screen recorded it. Then I put the MP3, went to sync it all up. But for some reason, my MP3 is slightly faster than the screen grab or the recording on synesthesia, and I don't know why. Does anybody know why? And yes, I have read the instructions, as someone did point out to me, well, the lack of, but I think the problem that I've got isn't that I don't know how to use synesthesia. You just literally click and play, really. But I don't know why I'm screen recording, which is what people do when they do the synesthesias, and then sync up the MP3 or however it is they've got the actual, you know, music part of it in the editing suite afterwards. But for some reason my screen recording is not in time with the MP3 of exactly the same piece of sheet music, and I don't know why that is. So the only way I could get around that was to just reduce the MP3 in the editing suite. I slowed it down to about 98%, so I just kind of took 2% off of it, and that seemed to kind of sync it up enough. So I don't know, I mean, if anybody can shed any light on this as to why it's not in time, or maybe I'm doing it wrong, but looking on other videos and looking on YouTube, that seems to be the way people are doing it, just putting in the MIDI and putting the MIDI into synesthesia, playing synesthesia, screen recording it on their computer, then putting that video into their editing, you know, Final Cut Pro or Premiere, whatever it is they're using to Sony Vegas to edit the actual video movies, and then syncing it with the MP3 that they've got underneath that. So yeah, I managed to do it in the end, and I had to re-upload the video because I just assumed when I did it the first time that it was in sync, and then I was told it wasn't. So I apologise for the kind of double upload of that, but I still haven't found what the problem is or solved it yet. But I think, you know, I think we're well enough there anyway. And then also life-wise, I made some fudge this week. I'll show you a little bit of footage of me making fudge. I'll leave the recipe if anybody wants to know in the description underneath. But those of you who know me, well, maybe you don't know, I absolutely hate cooking. I detest cooking, and I just don't cook. I absolutely hate it, and I kind of think like it's just a real inconvenience. And I like doing lots of things. I'm a very, I like very active person. I like doing things, but cooking, I just don't have the patience to do cooking. I have the patience to teach children the piano, children the violin. I can teach anything to anybody, but I absolutely hate cooking. However, I don't mind making desserts because I feel like it's the design. I think it's the design with the dessert, and I think you feel like there's more of a payoff. So I decided to make some fudge. A friend of mine gave me some fudge that a friend of hers had made for Christmas, and I just wanted to have a go at making it myself. So yeah, I decided to make some fudge, and I think it came out okay. It made a lot more fudge than actually I expected it to make. So I'm going to be eating fudge for about the next 6 months, I think. But yeah, I'll leave the recipe in the description box underneath if any of you want to know. But the fudge is really nice. It's the recipe I chose. It's hard to know until you try them, isn't it? But the recipe I chose, it seems like it's really nice. It was a salted caramel fudge. It's really nice, but I feel like I just had a little bit too much white chocolate in, and I feel like the white chocolate is kind of like the cream part. I thought you made fudge with cream, but I mean, what do I know? I don't know anything about cooking, so I don't know. I'll have to have a look for another recipe. But if any of you have made any salted caramel fudge, and I'm looking for kind of the stuff that when you bite into it, it's kind of got that gritty kind of crunch to it. If any of you have made that, or you've got a good recipe, then please show me, head me in the direction of your recipe link or whatever, because I'd love to try another salted caramel one, which is just a little bit more kind of gritty when you kind of bite through it. Really, the other things I just wanted to say before I leave you all is that my subscriber Sunday videos are going down really well. Most of you really well. All of you so far, I haven't had any complaints on those videos, but you're really liking them, as I thought you would, because they are as helpful as I imagined they would be. So if you've got any troubles of particular, I'm looking, I suppose, for more technique issues rather than, oh, hi Alison, I've been playing for 3 weeks, this is me playing, how am I doing? Not so much looking for those, because they're not really going to benefit such a wider audience. I'm looking for more kind of technical issues like the ones we've had. The last one we had a few days ago was Grace. She says her thumb keeps slipping through the bow, if any of you have watched that one. And I know, again, it's a very common problem. The next one we've got coming up, the next ones we've got coming up, as well as the ones that I've been filming last week, and I've just edited them and uploaded those. Again, they're all kind of more technique type issues that I think a lot of you are going to have the same problems with. So if you have a technical issue, violin or piano, then please do send in the video. I was also thinking of maybe filming my recording process for my performance channel. Would you all like to see that, for example? So I just do it vlog style, so right from me getting the sheet music, how I get the backing tracks, not kind of a super in-depth, but just scratch the surface. This is what I do when I do it, this is how I put it together, and this is the final result. Maybe on this channel, you guys that watch me on this channel might want to know how I go through that process, just because you might want to see how that process is done. So if you'll want to see that video, then hit me up in the comments underneath, and yeah, I can make that video. I'll probably just make a video anyway, so you don't actually need to comment, so scrap that. But anyway, I'm gonna go because I need to go and do some food shopping now. I need to have a shower and do some food shopping, and I will see you in next week's weekly vlog. Bye.